what we're looking at right now is we're seeing a big divide because the past 50 years has been the fastest jump in technology we've ever had any point in history that we know of. And so people who are being born recently are seeing a completely different point of view in things, right?
Yeah.
We're becoming more enlightened. And so you see like a lot of us we don't really agree with our parents. And our parents are losing their shit because like, what are you talking about? Like, bruh, it's been like this for the past 50, 60 years. Why are you contradicting me now? I'm like, bro, things are different, you know?
Whoa. What is that about? Well, guys, welcome to our new episode. Boop, boop, boop,
Welcome
boop.
back.
Welcome
Nice
back.
to have you guys.
We're still missing the, the little
I told you
thing
guys
that
that
we're supposed to do.
we need to get it as soon as possible. It needs to be here next to my seat.
You're gonna have like a whole.
Wait, you're going to have to put on the
The headphones, yes. Then I'll be the producer.
Really?
It's not Mickey the tourist anymore. Mickey the tourist.
Please. How you guys doing?
Doing pretty well. Now, welcome to our guest, Wani.
Hi, my name is Wani. It's good to be here.
Yeah.
Oh, this is nice.
Welcome.
Thank
Welcome.
you.
And,
Thank you.
it's your first time? No, this is not your first time doing the podcast, but
Yeah, this is my
Are you
this is my first time on someone else's podcast. I did.
oh, you have yours?
Yeah, but it's like really it's private because the stuff I say on there I didn't really want to like get out there like
Right.
that. You know, people ain't ready for that stuff.
Do you have a YouTube channel?
No, it's actually just the app Anchor.
Yeah, the audio.
Oh, you can
Yeah, you
put
can.
it private on there?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I would love to hear what's on there. I mean, it's a no judge zone.
Yeah, I talked to him. I don't mind spilling the beans a little bit, but like basically I was talking about stuff that this was when I was in college in Nigeria actually last year. I was there for about like a year. And so me and my friends, it was just like, you know how everyone in Africa, there's this herd mentality, and I found like my little group where we were kind of like different and we had our own different perspectives from everyone. And so we like, just like be talking about weird stuff. And so like me and my friend one day were like, we should like record this, like these type of we should like record this, and we did. And we're talking about like controversial stuff like religion and like how it society affects us in every way, and like how people are just like products of their environment and whatnot. It was a lot. So,
And living in Africa and being different is
Oh,
it's
yeah.
really hard, hey?
Very.
Because we get people that are judgmental, like
African auntie.
why why is the auntie across the road worried about me
Right.
when her son is in fucking jail?
I know, right?
Like, why are you worried that I am smoking this cigarette? I'm not smoking cigarettes. I'm just making
But why
an
is it your business,
example.
though? Even if I was, why is it your
Yeah. Or you wanna shave your hair on the side.
Oh no, they hate.
You're a Timon.
So you say you went to college in Nigeria?
Yes, I did. I did a whole like semester there, or like
Okay.
a school year. Yeah, actually.
But you grew up most of your time in the States?
Actually, no.
How was it?
I grew up mostly in Nigeria.
Okay.
And I came here like for like 3 years straight when I was like 12 years old. So that's when I really, yeah. And then I go back like after that, like I go back to visit once a year. But then August 2020, my sister was getting married, so I went back and, I stayed there for actually 15 months. So yeah,
Wow.
yeah, I was there for quite a break, and then I came back January this year, and
Okay.
now I'm back a whole different person.
Wow, Nigeria changed you?
Oh, Jesus.
What? Like,
lot.
I don't know if I would go back when I go back to South Africa when to visit or like, I don't know. Obviously, I'm not the same person I was 3 years ago, 2 years ago. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know if I will be able to still adapt.
Yeah.
Do you, like,
yeah.
that thing that we as black people do is like, when we speak to what is it called when you speak at work and then when you speak to your friends.
Oh yeah, you code switch.
Two different.
Code switch.
Yeah.
And are we gonna do you code switch
Yes.
when you go to Africa?
Yeah, I do that a lot.
Hard.
Do you code
you do that?
switch?
Yeah.
What's the hardest thing?
It's not hard because normally what I do, I just speak Creole because it's like the normal, you know.
Right.
You just pretty
Popular
much
language.
adapt, right?
Yeah. So it's like to me, it's sometimes some people do when they go to like visit, they try to speak that American English, and I'm like, bruh,
No,
just
that
speak
pisses me
Creole.
Bruh.
Relax,
down.
relax.
You know, like speak Creole.
Yeah.
Like just trying to blend in. You don't have to
Right.
put yourself. Oh, I'm American. I'm gonna just speak like, bruh. Nobody like, you know what I'm saying. So usually I just speak Creole. You know, like my entire time there, I speak Creole. You will never hear me speak English when I was there.
Oh no,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
so cool.
Honestly, I feel that. 'Cause
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that because even me, like, I haven't been back home yet since I moved to the States.
Damn.
But when I was there, I used to have like family members, like my uncles, and that would be going over there. And most of them, like when they go there, like you know, I mean they're on vacation, but like the way they're acting, like they're just like Sarah,
Right.
like they're like the shit now, stuff like that.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
they keep
yeah,
them
you
better
know.
than everyone else.
And it is, and
They
when
do that.
people ask them for money, they like complain. But I was like, man,
Bro.
have you seen like the way you
Acting, yeah.
presenting yourself to these
They be
people?
flexing.
Right.
Exactly. That's
Flexing hard as fuck.
yeah. And there was just one of my uncle, right? He came there, and I just like that guy so much, and he was like eating with people, like eating with his hand, like I'm just vibing, like that's like he's been there for so long.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is like he has been in the States for like the longest,
Oh
for like
wow.
almost 30 years. And when he went back, like I think that was his first time since he left,
Damn.
and he was just like
He
like
never
us.
left.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's how it should be.
Yeah, no, I mean when it comes to cultural things like the way we eat or the way we talk to each other, I mean that obviously I'm still that same person. I'm still that African girl, you know what I mean? But I'm talking about like the friends that I used to have because what I used to like then I don't like now, like the type of friends mentality wise I won't be able to.
No, yeah, that all of that would change.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of that would change. The mentality wise, it would change. But as long as they're like your true friends, you still hang out with them. But it's just, you know, there are certain things maybe what you like doing they may not like, so you would just end up doing it by yourself. Let's say you like reading books, you're probably just gonna do that by yourself, you know. But just the mentality will be different.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
But I won't say, you know, just because you know you don't live there anymore, you shouldn't be their friends. That's not,
obviously,
you know.
not.
I
But
know exactly what you're talking about because,
Right.
like, as someone who, like, my personality definitely changed a lot when I
Mic
came
up a
here.
little bit.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
like my personality changed a whole lot when I came here. Right? I think I was able to express myself more. I've always been into the things I'm into now, but you know, when you leave Africa, your self-expression, like, you know, skyrockets. You're able to express yourself more. So going back, you know, trying to, you know, people are expecting you to still kind of like fit in that box again. You can't.
Yeah.
You know, when you've kind of like grown as a person, and like, yeah, I definitely understand. Even though, like, you know, you still love them in your heart, but you know there's certain things about you they just will not be able to understand about you. And that distance is definitely gonna, like, there's gonna be a distance, but it doesn't mean you don't love them anymore. It just means you're on different wavelengths now.
Do you think that your spirituality has put you in a position where your friends or family back in Africa is like looking at you weird or
Yes,
being
absolutely.
weird to you?
No, absolutely. Yeah, because, like, I mean, I'm not religious anymore. I used to be growing up, but I've always had a different way of thinking growing up. So, you know, when I came here and I had access to more knowledge and I was able to connect my thoughts together with actual information, I realized, I was like, dang, like, okay, I know what I believe in now. And, like, it's not, like, it makes sense, like, coming from that background, but it's not like I don't believe in what they believe anymore. It's kind of grown from there. I'm not saying what they believe in is false. I'm just saying there's a lot more than what you are seeing.
so I want to ask a question about that. So you say you're not religious anymore. So do like your parent know about that?
Well, no. Well, they do. They have an idea, but they're not gonna want to believe that. They're not gonna.
Right.
They're like, yeah, you used to go into church. I actually do go to church, and like, I still have Christian friends, and I still read the Bible, but I'm just not religious. And like,
Do you think like let's say 5 years from now, do you think you will still like go to church? You think you still like read the Bible, stuff like that, or?
yeah, the reason I do that is not like doing it. I'm doing it because I'm learning from it. I'm also reading the Quran as well.
Oh, nice.
And like, I'm gonna later on like read the Torah when I have more Jewish friends who
Alright.
can the Torah.
Yeah.
When I have more Jewish friends who can actually help me navigate it a little bit more. But yeah, I'm living with like my Muslim friends right now, and I'm able to like ask them if I have like Muhammad actually, if I have a question about, he gave me a translated version of the Quran, so I can ask him questions, and like we talk about it and all that. So that's cool, and that's what I do with the Bible as well with my Christian friends.
Nice.
I kind of like share my point of view, and then they share their point of view, and like and with that I hope people can like kind of find more enlightenment, and they can be more at one with themselves, because religion sometimes can be, if it's practiced wrongly, it can be fear-based, and
Right.
people do not need to live that way.
Wait, but I have a question. So if you are spiritual, what do you believe in? I've always wondered, because you're not the first person that I've come across. Angel.
Angel, yeah.
Angel. But Angel is just funny. Sometimes we just can't we can't listen to Angel sometimes, But like Angel will say like she's spiritual, right? But then how do you define being spiritual? Like what do you do? Like,
So before you answer that, because most of the time, the people that I've seen that would say they're spiritual, they usually do like stuff like yoga. They're usually like vegan,
meditation.
do meditation. So like, what in your point of view, like what do you think that is?
that sounds a little bit Buddhist, but yeah.
They do that.
Oh.
Yeah,
Well,
some people do. Yeah, go ahead though.
Yeah.
Answer now.
Oh yeah.
Your
iterating
spirituality
on what-
though.
Yeah, but iterating on what you said, like people who like, there is a problem with people taking from Buddhist traditions right now, practicing yoga out of context, and like basically just whitewashing it and stuff like that. And people like, oh, that's spirituality. No, that's part of a religion. I don't do all of that, because I don't have a yogist to like someone who actually is experienced and who's from that culture and religion to teach me yoga. So I'm not doing yoga.
Is it a religious practice though? Or it's just like a way of
It
life,
is.
or like a?
I know
To me, like, when I think
meditation
of
is
yoga,
part of
meditation-
Buddhism.
Yeah, it is.
I mean,
It's
When I-
sacred, kind of.
okay,
Whoa.
but I don't think cause even there's different ways of meditation, right? Like even like the way we pray, Islam,
Yes.
right? It could be a form of meditation, like
It is.
just trying to focus on what you're doing. Cause like some people may say like it's very easy to pray, but it's not. Cause sometimes your mind like wanders
Oh,
all over the
yeah.
place. So you have to be like focused at the moment. And part of meditation is that as well. Like just being
Yes.
where you at,
Yeah, being present.
being
Yeah.
present. Yeah.
Yeah, that is actually, meditation means like just observing your thoughts, to be honest.
Yes.
And that's like the part, like this part of spirituality that I like practice, is the state of the observer,
Okay.
Because when you meditate, people think you have to like clear your mind and empty your mind. No, that's not possible, because you have a working mind. It's always going to be forming thoughts. The thing is not to identify with those thoughts. Like, look at the thoughts as like clouds passing. You're not gonna like, you can't hold on to a cloud. It's just gonna dissipate. Just let it pass. But you watch the clouds pass, and you separate yourself. You are the ones watching your thoughts. You are not the thoughts that's passing. And like when you are in a constant state of meditation, you become more and more aware of that observer who is observing the thoughts. So the more you practice, the less it becomes about the thoughts, and the more it becomes about the observer.
So which is you?
Yes.
The
and-
observer is you. Okay.
Yeah, and then you realize like there could be mind without thoughts, and after a while there'll be less clouds, and it will be just clear skies, because they've all passed. You let them pass. You're not holding on to it. When you hold on to all those clouds, it's gonna create a storm. So that's just what meditation is. And my spirituality, even though I'm lacking on meditation, but like when my day-to-day basis, it's like I watch how like my emotions and like how I feel around the certain. I don't identify and hold on to those feelings. Like when I say I am angry, I'm feeling angry and I am experiencing anger. You know, separating yourself from those emotions and letting them pass, letting them go, and then you're constant. Be constant.
You know, in freshman year of my college year, I took this course. I forgot the name of it, but it was part of the program that we was on, and it's called, I think, Scholar Studio, and we like practice every Friday. We do like yoga and stuff. They even give us like a yoga mat. We do yoga. We meditate, and it was mainly just trying to help us like adapt to like the stress when it comes to like college wise. So I don't know, like I found that like helpful a little bit, and to me because I'm my religion is Muslim, but like the way I meditate is usually just praying like two rakah. Whenever like I'm feeling stressed, like I just go ahead and pray two rakah and just sit down, just just pray like do like dua, ask for like whatever I want or whatever I need more clarification on.
Right.
Usually that helps me, but I also does meditation where I sit on my chair, like before a test or so. I usually do it. Just sit on my chair, just relax, like no TV, nothing like that, just blank. I'll still have my eyes open, but like
Right, right.
just try to focus. It helps me like calms down a little bit.
Yeah, that's really cool. And like about praying, about like with Christianity and like Islam, with Christian, like there's also like the meditation I talked about was not the only type of meditation, of course. Like sometimes you need to go within yourself to figure out what you really want, and what you want to happen. Those thoughts, like because like I see like when you're praying and stuff, like especially I grew up around Muslims a lot, so like I see the whole process of like how they pray, and like I feel like so when you're like going through like the process and like the initial bowing and like before you actually sit down and pray, like what's going through your mind during those like
Um, it's hard, but we were like taught to like to think about God, think about just positive stuff, think about like just some of the recitation that you've learned, just have it back on your mind. But it's hard because sometimes we might be saying Allah
Might be
Akbar,
wondering.
but then we might be thinking about something else wherever plans we have going on.
right.
It is difficult, but it's just trying to not focus on those stuff and focus on the prayer that you're doing,
Right.
basically.
Right. So like basically going through that is like a way of like
That's-
grounding yourself.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, that's a really cool process because I feel like, just starting like, doing the dua, like washing and everything, you're getting yourself in that
Purifying
mindset.
yourself.
Yeah, in
Right.
that
That mindset.
yeah.
Right. And like you're starting to like know, okay, I'm entering prayer and like, you're going through the process and then, and I feel like if you're just more mindful with it with every step and process, because if you do it all the time, it's easy to like just do it on autopilot.
Right.
Yeah.
It becomes easier for you to just
Yeah.
go through the process.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And also like you did say you're in a process where like you're learning different religions, right?
Right.
And why is that? Are you just like curious to like learn about like what other religions do, or are you just trying to figure out like what you think may be like the best fit for you?
Oh, okay. That's a good question. The thing is, I would say I'm a pantheist, and
Okay.
like
What's a pantheist?
yeah,
I
like
don't know.
okay, I use the two terms like these two terms together, omnist pantheism, like and this means omnism means like truth in all religions, that there's truth. Every religion has some truth,
Yes.
an aspect like there's always some truth in it. And pantheism is God in all, like there's God in everything
Right.
that we see, because that I believe we are like different manifestations of God, and people who practice religions, like I feel like God chooses for you to see him or her or them through that perspective. That's why people have different religions. God wants you to see him as Allah, and like God wants you to see him through Jesus and all that other stuff. And the more I learn about different religions, the more it kind of solidifies my point of view, because I kind of see that everyone they're going within to find God, and like God answers them.
Yeah.
Like you you pray, like a lot of times, like you pray and you're a Muslim, you pray for something, you get it. Like you're Christian, you pray for something, you get
You
it.
still
Like you
get it.
see miracles that happen, and like you can get healed just by like praying enough and like doing it correctly and all that stuff. In different religions, it's, it works.
Right.
know?
So you do believe in God?
Yes.
Yes?
But,
Okay.
I don't have, God isn't like, there's no like, he's not separate from me. Like, I believe
You
everything-
are God.
Yeah, we're all manifestations of
Yeah.
God, and like it's easier to see God outside of yourself. And it doesn't make it any less like true. It doesn't
Right.
mean the God outside of yourself is any you. I feel like you're the creator of your own reality.
Right.
You, like I said, you're the observer. The observer creates the reality as it is observing it. All of this would not exist if you were not here to see it. So that's how I believe the whole universe was made. You can't exist without like projecting outside of yourself, and like outside wouldn't exist without you projecting it.
Yeah.
So that's what I believe in. And so all religions are valid, because if you're creating your reality, and in your reality God is Allah in your
Yes.
reality.
Yeah, and I feel like that's it's like there's like that one commonality, right, between like most religions, where like they all believe in like there's a supreme being higher than us that we supposed to like worship and all that. Well, I think like where usually like the difference becomes is us people, right? We start like nitpicking like all the people's religion, like on what they believe, and or like what they don't believe, or like the way they do things. And once it gets to that point, like a lot of people usually forget like the actual idea of like we should just like focus on like the supreme being higher than us. And now instead of us doing that, we focus on why is Muslims praying to Allah,
Yeah.
but they don't realize that Allah is just like God in a different language,
Yeah,
Or
and the
why is
Bible
Muslim praying like this?
and the Quran is like, you get Adam and Eve in the Bible, you get Adam and Eve in the Quran.
Right.
You get David in the Bible, you get David in the Quran. You know what I mean?
It's just
Like,
different names,
Yeah.
but the same story.
Same aspect. Yeah, same
Aspect of
story,
it,
same
yeah.
aspect.
I actually saw in the Quran when I was reading it that it was the same message. I'm like paraphrasing, but it's the same message that was delivered to the prophet and to Jesus and to the tribes of the Jews, the tribes of Judah. And so like it's the same message, but they're just different people. And I don't remember exactly where I saw this in the Quran, but I was like, oh shoot, this
Different
really like
perspectives.
Yeah, I think it's like Islam, right? Islam like what it means like submitting to like God, and Muslim believe that there's only been like one religion the whole time, which is Islam, and all the prophets came through that religion. They just have like different books that God gave them, like Muhammad got the Quran, Jesus got the Bible, and Moses got the Torah. So all of them are still like in the same religion, Islam, submission to God, to Allah. It's just they have different books, and some of those books like they have like so many. I mean, most of it like they have so many commonalities, but like what happens like over time, when people start translating
It changes.
Yeah.
it changes,
that's so true.
and over time language changes, right? And because of that, that's why like Islam, like when you want to learn the religion, you have to like learn it like in Arabic.
Arabic, yeah.
Then translate it to whatever language,
Yeah.
because the Arabic language always stay the same. It doesn't change. And that is because of all the previous book, like what have happened with them was like people just use it to their own benefit, and just change around the words. Like some religion have like so many versions of like the one book, and you can read something here and another one telling you like a completely different stuff.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I use that argument a lot because like people don't understand. Like, do you speak another language besides English?
Yeah, I speak Creole.
You speak Creole?
He
Okay.
speaks
Yeah.
18 languages.
I wish I did. I wish I did. I'll feel like a superhuman.
I know, right?
18 languages.
Yeah.
Woo.
I know, but like the thing.
Can you
yeah.
put the mic a little? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But like, yeah, gotta get used to it. But yeah,
Yeah.
like when you're talking, let's say you're talking to like your someone else in Creole, and like someone's like, "Can you translate that?" Like you could translate it, and I speak Yoruba, and because I'm Nigerian, and like when I translate it, I'm like, it doesn't really like, especially with a joke,
It's not effective at
It's
times.
yeah.
Certain things you just cannot translate in that
It
language.
loses
Yeah.
the flavor.
right? Like, can you like imagine telling a joke in Creole, and like you want to translate it? It's not gonna hit. Like,
Exactly.
bruh, like okay, like you don't really get it because there's a lot of context behind it.
Right.
There's a lot of cultural context, a lot of like unspoken like context that's already behind that you both know. And so like look at that with like a Bible, right? And that was written like thousands of years ago. And so like you want to translate, and it wasn't just translated once, it was translated multiple times from one language to another language, from that language to another language, from that language to another, then to like English. And so you cannot tell me the meaning will definitely be lost in the translation.
Of course.
And like monarchical powers, like in Europe, like King James and them, like the priests were like the highest people in like society, like priests and like the monarchs and all of that. And so when they want to change the rules,
They
just change
use
the
it.
Bible. Like
Right.
they edit scripts. There's like about, I don't know, 18 or 80 books that's missing from the Bible, like the book of Enoch, the
Ooh.
book of Mary Magdalene, like many books that are not in the Bible that we have today. You actually have to go seek them out. Like you can search it up now, like they're online everywhere. But I'm like, dang, like they don't tell you this stuff, like, but people don't understand. There's so much more
Right.
to what you're being given. You need to actually go out and seek the knowledge. I'm so happy I'm like a really curious person. So it's like this knowledge came to me, but I had to seek it out.
Yeah.
People don't understand, like there's so much more, and you can live a much more like fear-free life.
So, do you, because I feel like all this stuff happened because like they either someone in power like want to like control the society or something like that. So how much of an impact do you think like like say you can say like psychologically, or like how would that affect us nowadays? Because back then, you if you compare Christianity, right,
Yeah.
as to like what the idea they got from the Bible and compared to now, it's totally different.
Yeah.
So now it's like they just, you ask someone who's like super into like Christianity, they would tell you, "Oh, this is what I know." But then compare that back then, it's totally different.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's basically just trying to, it's like a mind game, like making people to behave in a certain way.
Right.
So like, but how much do you think of that impact do we have nowadays, like in the society nowadays?
Okay. If we look at it like coming from like how history has been, like we had like the monarchs and like people who control society, but you look at society and we are kind of a product of our past in a way. Like the past kind of well, it does determine the future. It does, like it makes the future. So what we're looking at right now is we're seeing a big divide because the past 50 years has been the fastest jump in technology we've ever had any point in history that we
Yeah.
know of. And so people who are being born recently are seeing a completely different point of view in things, right?
Yeah.
We're becoming more enlightened, and so you see like a lot of us we don't really agree with our parents, and our parents are losing their shit because like, what are you talking about? Like, bruh, it's been like this for the past 50, 60 years. Why are
Right.
you contradicting me now? I'm like, bro, things are different. They had more of a. The thing is, they were easier to control because they didn't have any outside knowledge besides what their parents was telling them.
There were no technology, nothing like
Yeah.
that for them to
Nothing.
do research and find out.
Nothing. They didn't have nothing like that. A lot of them, it was wake up, go to school, go to church, come home, go to school, go to church, come home, get
Right.
married, have kids. That's their
Yeah.
whole life. And
Man, that's a boring ass life.
I know. And like
Right?
everything, their input is just from like their society. Like what the parents told them growing up, it usually aligns with what society is telling them. And then they're like, okay, well, this is how life is supposed to be then. There's no way to think outside the box because everything just connects, There's no difference in information. You don't have different sources of information, so you can't really choose. That's why I feel like they didn't really have the choice to be enlightened. They didn't have that option. So but right now what we're seeing is becoming more advanced now, and this technological age is the age of information is the age of like science and knowledge and everything. Everybody is knowing anything. Anyone can. There's so many points of views and so many perspectives. Like if you're ignorant at this age, you're choosing to be ignorant, man. Like what? What the heck? Right.
But for me, like the weird part of it is about technology is, it's good. It's giving us a lot of positive stuff,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it has a lot of negative as well.
Oh yeah.
Because there's a lot of like suicide, you know, people committing suicide and all that stuff, and there's a lot of crimes too, and all that stuff. I won't say, but it kind of just now, if you compare, I'll say a child, the moment the child is born, right, they're given a tablet, right? So automatically, that's what they know, right? They would want to use that tablet as far as as far as you let them, But to me, that's kind of like a bad way of teaching your children, because like
Yes.
they won't be like focused, because that'll impact it in
It's
a way
gonna
where.
burn their attention
Right.
span at a young age. Straight.
That's facts, man. Like, if you tell them, oh, go do your work, man, they would just sit there, watch the book, don't know nothing,
Like,
and then look at you, and all of a sudden get up. You be like, I told you to go do your work, and then they'll go back, and then the moment you forget about them, they'll get up again. So it's like technology has a good side of it, but at the same time, the negative part of it,
Oh yeah.
like, I don't know. That's something that I'm kind of curious about when it comes to like the next 10 plus years or so.
Right. We're gonna see the effects later on. Like we've not seen the effects of having this much technology with her.
Right. Because when it first started, it was all positive.
Yeah.
Like when the new touchscreen came out, it was all positive. But then now it's like it's a whole bunch of touchscreen devices. So it's like abundant.
Yes. I totally get it. You would say?
Yeah, I think we already seen the change, like that effect,
Mm-hmm.
and like kids not growing up like with technology. It's like if you look, I saw this research, right. They said now there's more kids that actually play video game than going out to like a recreation center to like play actual sports. So kids play now sports more on video games than like in real life, and have like so much impact and like just the way we see ourselves and stuff like that, and that's why like a whole lot of people like they're not really confident now when they go outside to like meet with like people like in person,
Yeah.
because
Social
they
anxiety.
have like a whole different like their personality online is just so different from like their
Oh
real
yeah.
self,
In real life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is so true.
and
I suffer from that too. You guys think like I'm a social
the-
butterfly. I'm a social butterfly to people that I know. But when it comes to me talking to people that I don't, like yesterday, right, I had to go fetch my car from service and the whole engine locked. So they have to fix like the whole car's engine. So they had to get me a rental, right? So I had to go into Toyota and actually talk to people. I was freaking out. I was like,
really,
okay, like, cause now, okay, I'm gonna talk to you fine, and then I got a lot of
Make you-
anxiety. The first thing is gonna be, excuse me, now, cause I got an accent. Now I have to repeat myself.
Oh,
Now I'm gonna start getting frustrated because I'm telling you, I'm speaking English. You just being a dick right now. You know what I mean?
honestly.
You being an asshole.
Right.
Because I am speaking English. Now you want to, excuse me? Like, wait, what did you say? Can you repeat yourself? You
Like, bro, just listen up.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
I suffer from social anxiety. But when it comes to being around my friends or people that I know or people that, people that I'm comfortable around, I'm just
Yeah.
like this crazy chick. But get me, if we have to go, remember the one time we went to Nando's and then I had to order and I told you I'm not talking to anyone and I told you what I want. Do you remember that day? Or I would keep quiet and I'll point out, this is what I want. Then you have to tell them what I want. Because me talking to people, I don't know, it's
So
I think
Go
go
ahead.
ahead, Mohammed. Go ahead.
So do you think that is because maybe you're like you it's like you don't know what people are like their response is? Is that why maybe you don't want to talk to them? It's like you care about they respond?
No, I feel like this is it's not it's got nothing to do with what I think they think about me. I know I'm bad. Period. No, listen.
Go ahead, go ahead, go
There's
ahead.
no doubt about it. It's I don't have patience, and I get it's like a 2-year-old. You know they say the kid turned 2, so they're having terrible twos because
Yeah.
they're throwing tantrums because they're trying to communicate, but you can't understand them.
That is so.
So
true.
I'm trying to communicate and I know what I want and I'm telling you what I want, but you don't understand me. Now I'm freaking out. You know what I mean? And I'm getting impatient and frustrated and I'm a very emotional person. I might look like I'm like this
You know,
tough cookie.
I just want to suggest something like a way to handle stuff like that. For example, you're looking at a menu, right? If the menu has like a numbers, instead just be like, let me get number 2. It's like
It's that simple.
There's no
no, yeah, it's not, but
yeah.
I feel like that's a way you can handle situations like that, or you can always point out something, or you can just
Yeah.
point out like a color or whatever.
not just don't talk to people.
I think the perfect solution is what we actually touched on earlier, right? Do you do meditation?
I used to do it. I used
Or
to.
if-
but,
if-
I
Yeah,
don't
I
really
think
If
do
you
it.
pray,
if you
whichever one.
practice meditation, right? What I've noticed, like, it really like calms you down because I mean, just like so, like based on what you say, you pretty much saying like the problem is not like what you think other people are thinking.
She's
of you.
impatient.
It's pretty much you are impatient. Yes, if that's the case, like I mean, that is something that you can. I mean, you can
That's
always like
something I
work on
can
that,
work
right?
on. I get that, but
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's deeper than just being
Yeah. Can I
impatient.
ask a question?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like when did you move to the U.S.?
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
Do you feel like the way like you communicate here is like based on like the cultural differences and like the act? Because I had that problem when I first moved here. I had terrible social anxiety because I had an accent, and like it was quite like it was obvious, and like I feel like I was talking, like I
different
can
language.
yeah, and then like a lot of times I can't understand Americans, but like I feel like I was talking like I was enunciating my words, and like I was like I know what I'm saying. Like you just if you paid attention, like because I don't feel like your accent like I can not just because I'm African. I feel like I can hear every word you're saying.
Yeah.
But like
It's not that hard.
yeah, you're saying the same thing. It's just in a different. But people are too fixated on the accent.
Yes.
They're not paying attention.
That's
to what
what
you're
the
saying.
problem is. Like that, they are used to the American accent.
Exactly.
So hearing a different accent to them is like
What's
that
this?
like can
Oh,
you
you
repeat
got
it
an
again?
accent.
I know that's the first. Yeah, like where
You
you
know.
from?
Where you from?
like, that's the-
Africa.
Where? I'm like, where do you know in Africa?
She's probably experienced that a lot of
I
times.
know.
You know what, right? I love that I have the opportunity to live in America. I love that I'm here. I love living here and everything. But me, besides the people that I live with, and besides like a handful of, I like have like less than 5 American friends. I find it so hard to just like interact with American people. I now only go to places where they play Afro beats, Amapiano. Like I stay away from,
love Amapiano.
you know, American
What's that?
places. It's a
That's a
genre
dish.
from South Africa.
Yeah.
Like if it came to a point where like if like someone has interest in me, right? And I'm like, oh, where you from? And it's like, oh, Atlanta. And I'm like, where you from?
Like, where's your heritage?
Don't tell me Atlanta. No, I was born in Atlanta. Okay, where you from?
Oh yeah.
And now you don't know where you from. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not their fault. Their culture and stuff was taken away from them by colonizers. Fine.
Yeah.
But like, so your great granny, where's she from?
They don't.
Like,
That's the thing. There's no history about that.
oh
so
man, it's so sad.
that's why
why they
wherever
let
they're
this
born,
thing-
that's what the place they will call as home. Like you know what I'm saying? If they were born in Maryland, they'll be like, I'm from Maryland.
Yeah.
For me, it's cringy.
I think look at this from this point of view, right? Let's like when you in South Africa, right? If somebody that lives in South Africa as well, like you met with them and they ask you where you from, are you going to tell them I'm from South Africa, or you just going to tell them like your hometown?
I'm gonna tell them the city. Yeah.
Yes, I feel like that's the
To them,
yeah,
it's like
they're
the
probably
same.
saying it like that same way. Was like
Yeah.
because
Because
we're in
you-
America
you-
now, I'm not gonna say I'm from America, or I'm from Africa. Some of those people they don't have like any African memories, you know.
No.
It's just their great
Even the
grandparents
grandparents
till
don't
their
even know.
generation
Yeah.
now, they're all like Americans.
Yeah, I
so.
understand that part, right? I do get it. Like, I like I said, there's nothing wrong with it. I respect it because it's not their fault. But I feel like, and this is a personal opinion, a very personal opinion. I feel like if you don't know your roots, or if you didn't at least go an extra mile to find out where your ancestors might be from, there's just something that is missing with you as a person. And I do get along with the 5 American friends that I have, and I like them and I love them. They know
They're gonna
that.
beat you up when they see you the next time.
Listen, they know how I feel about this. It's just, and it's nothing personal. It's nothing personal.
Is it? Is there like a different way you can ask that same question?
I
That's
don't
not-
ask that question. Like,
Oh, you don't?
At this
Okay.
point, I don't, like, if you're from Atlanta, you're from Atlanta. Fine.
Yeah,
like,
like,
it's just.
I totally get what you mean, and like I think it's because, like, being African, I would say it's a privilege to be able to be that connected to our culture,
It is.
and like, but the thing is, they don't feel that way because you can't miss something you never had.
Right.
So they don't feel like there's anything missing
Exactly.
because they've actually made their own culture.
Yeah.
Here, there's the black culture is its own culture.
And it's beautiful.
It is
too.
beautiful, and I had to kind of get accustomed to it, kind of when I got accustomed to it, it kind of became my culture as well. 'Cause, oh, this makes sense. Like, I like this because I'm black, and like I'm a black person in America, so it's a culture in itself, and I'm also African, and like I know, like if I was just suddenly like cut off from my African culture, that would hurt, but they never had a culture like I mean, besides this black culture
Yeah.
they've had. They've created their own culture, and they feel a lot of time content and proud of it. So like I'm actually really happy to see what we've made. Like, despite colonization and being cut off from our roots, like we still have
Yeah.
a connection.
We're the blessed ones
We
that our ancestors are strong. They were like, you're not taking us to the front line.
And I was gonna touch on that as well, right? Was like I had this Jamaican friend, like an older guy, and
You told us about him before.
but yeah, Kevede, like he's very he's Jamaican, but like he probably know more about African
Who, Coach?
culture than all of us. Not coach friend.
Oh.
His name is Kevede. So there's this because I don't know like where the conversation went, but he was like one reason why like a lot of black people that from this other side of the wall, the reason why some of them may not appreciate like Africans is because of some of them are seeing Africans like we sold them. So
Maybe we
Oh
did.
wait, they're thinking
joking,
Africans.
yeah, because like that's how the slavery happened,
Yeah.
right? Like it's usually like me and my tribe and your tribe go went to war.
Oh, yeah.
If you lose to me, when
You
the
go.
foreigners come in, they just gonna sell you. Even though like
that happened? Is it like?
that's
Yeah.
like the general idea of
That's
it.
Well,
general
like
idea.
that's people are
Whoa, that's
that's really
deep.
messed.
Or like the chief.
I mean, even though like
would just pick people that.
Oh, the weakest
Yeah.
link.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
but
it's not as common as they make it seem, though, which is really crazy because, like, when you really learn about African history, there was slavery and like people who were like prisoners of wars all over the world. Even incarceration, modern day incarceration is just modern day slavery. But anyway, that's another topic. But I'm saying like a lot of times they really didn't have a choice because like you have like these prisoners, right? Would you rather give the white people the prisoners or they steal your children? Pick one. They're gonna give the prisoners away, and at the end of the day, they still kind of like did enslave everyone. They still got the people that they didn't want to sell off still got enslaved and everything. It was kind of already out of their control when the white people got there. We were evolving to hunt and to make socials and make communities and stuff, and the white people were evolving to make guns and war, and they were decked up. They were, they had everything. They were armed up. Coming here, they had guns and everything. We were not competing with that. We're like, all right, you got it. So we can't blame Africans for selling other Africans. That's why, no. Whether or not they sold them, slavery would have happened.
Yeah.
Simple. I don't really like that argument because why are we blaming our own people? When every single culture has slaves at some point. If you go to war and you're a prisoner, you're going to become a slave.
It makes
Simple.
sense.
Wait, on to a lighter note, Does your spirituality have an influence on your fashion sense?
Honestly, yeah, I would say that because like when I become more spiritual, I would say I knew that okay, expressing myself is kind of key to being how I want people to see me in this physicality. You know, I want to express myself and like sometimes I have just like little statement like pieces on me, or I just like the fact that I don't know. What you see outside, it could be like a reflection, like a projection of what's inside. You know, the difference. Like I'm not usually dressed the same as everyone in the room, and that difference, I have a difference in mentality as well. So it kind of like projects itself, and like I wear black, mostly black, and like I'm more in touch with my dark side. Not like my dark, like ooh, but like
You're a witch.
So it's pretty much being
Sacrifice
confident in your own
them.
skin.
yeah,
Is
and
that what it is?
yeah, and
Okay.
like the blackness is like it's the dark side is I don't know, it's misunderstood.
So
And
what is it? Because that's something that I don't understand. Not that like I never, associated with like the mean, bad, like nah. But it's just I just never understood it.
understood
Black
like
colors?
black.
Like the black side, the dark
Like
side
the
of
dark
you.
side. And what is your? This is the question I wanted to ask you. What is your parents, like your mother, like when you just started wearing black and all of that? Like,
Yeah.
what was her whole? What was she
Oh,
like? Or
she
did
did
she
not
start
like it.
praying for you?
You didn't
Like,
notice it.
yeah, you know how African mothers are a little bit too dramatic.
Yeah, a
I feel
little.
like I'm gonna be that mother that's like, you broke my cup, take a hammer and break everything.
Sarcastic.
Yes.
No, honestly, but like on like going back to like my mom, how she felt about it, she does not like it when I wear all black. She hates it. She's like, no, put some color in there. Like, no, you can't wear all black. No, like, who died? And I'm like, bro, come on, bro.
Who died?
For real.
Don't you guys think it's funny how no matter where in Africa you are from, an African mother is an
African mother, straight up, straight up, straight
Like
up.
you just
I
know
don't-
if I go to an African house, I already can't do this.
I already know, you
know
already
that.
know.
You know what I mean? And
You
it's so
already know.
weird, like having friends that are not from Africa.
Come to your
And now, not like now maybe you're on a phone video call or something, and your little American friends are around or your white friends. So now you have to tell them, even though she can't see you, you have to chill.
chill. You got to chill out. That is so true.
Yeah, please.
Chill
But
out.
like like if your mother calls you, everybody in this room is
It's
gonna
gonna
be
sell
quiet.
it. True that. True that. True that.
Unless
sure
you
you
guys are
don't.
speaking to my mom.
Right.
Like, hey.
I
But
feel-
yeah.
I definitely feel she was.
Yeah.
She's. I mean, they're dramatic. I don't know if they had some orientation, but
It's funny though.
it is funny. It's cute sometimes, but bro, chill out.
Yeah.
Just take a,
I love the whole TikTok, African TikTok thing. I can laugh for hours because like I can relate.
I
You know
find
what
it
I
funny
mean?
though.
I know. I love it. Really love it. I like how we're like making a joke out of it. And like it's
Yeah.
become like a humor. Even though like bruh,
It
growing
was
up
trauma. It was traumatic.
Traumatic.
To us. It's trauma.
So-
Now these Gen Z kids are making it a
No.
joke.
I
It's
know.
like stuff like that. Whenever it's happening, like in the moment, it's not fun to us, right? But like after,
Years.
Yeah,
we talk about it, we just
Laugh
laugh.
about it.
You
Yeah.
just love, yeah.
Yeah.
Like this one time, right? I was like young, and someone told my mother they saw me smoking.
Oh.
So,
Yeah.
Oh girl, I already know you got in
think
trouble.
I was very young. I was probably like 15 or something, right?
Oh, Lord.
And even when I was 21, if she sees me, you're smoking drugs.
I know.
I said, what's
I
drugs?
know. It's not.
To them, they categorize one thing as all.
All of it. Like weed and coke is the same.
You're
Like-
going down.
Like-
You're smoking hookah.
Oh my
My
days.
child. She has failed me.
I know.
I feel like today's episode was very educational. I feel like I learned a lot from you.
Honestly,
Definitely.
I had like a really, really good time, guys.
Same here.
I have one more question though, before we actually wrap it up. So like spirituality, right?
Yeah.
Is there like a general idea of it? For example, let's say like Islam, right? Almost every Muslim like we believe there's Allah, right? We have to pray like 5 times a day. We have to face like a specific way when we pray. We have to like do ablution before we pray.
Yeah.
is there like that general sense in like spirituality? Because from your friend the last time, what I learned from her, right? She said the way she practice her spirituality is by paying homage to like our ancestors.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
that's how she does hers. And what is your thoughts on that?
Okay.
Is it just like a free ball, like everybody have the way they can do this? Or
There is always a consistency
okay,
in something beyond us. There's always a consistency. I believe personally, right, that there's more to just our physical. There's our higher selves. And
Right.
we are not just this. Like, what we are right now is the highest self trying to project, like, trying to exist in this three-dimensional form. To exist in this three-dimensional form, you have to be in a three-dimensional body, in a physical body, to be in this physical reality. But there is always a higher being that's projecting all of this. And the thing is, like I said, our reality is subjective, okay? And people can choose to, connect with this higher being any way they like choose to, but there's always a parallel, right? Because it's always something like, oh yeah, my ancestors are like God, but it's something higher than you. It's something bigger than you.
Higher power.
Is a higher power. But I feel like that higher power in me is just a projection of me. And like when I die, I was sent into that being, and like there's more dimensions. It's a really complicated like topic, but like there's more dimensions, and at the highest dimension, it's all one consciousness, because the same consciousness that's like when you talk about meditation, right? Like when you separate yourself from your thought, that observer observing your thought is the same observer observing your thoughts. There's no difference. The only difference is the thoughts that's being observed and the reality that's being projected. That's the difference. But the observer is the same in everyone that has consciousness. And that's what, people like, oh yeah, we're all one consciousness. And like, the hippies say it, and like people like, oh, shut up. But like, it's kind of some type of truth to it. Because, when it was like, I am thinking, when you say, oh, I am thinking and how I am feeling, who's that I that is feeling? Who's that I that is thinking?
It's me.
Right. It's the same I in everyone. You say like, if I ask like, who are you? You'd be like, oh, I'm Mickey, or I am Mohammed. But you're saying I is Mickey. I is Mohammed. Who's I without Mohammed? Who's I without Mickey? Who's I without I am a student at Bowie? I'm a student at this. Like, who's I without that? And it's that same I am, that's the I that everyone is. That's my basis on spirituality. From there you can
Okay.
go and be like, I is God, I is, my higher self, I is, whoever you want to project onto it is valid, but who is I? When you meditate and go into the state of oneness, you are just that one observer, and you're one with everything.
cool.
Okay.
I don't want this to feel like bombarding you with
I
you're
don't
fine.
know what you
But,
just said.
I'm trying to learn as much as I can, because like me, I mean,
Yeah.
that's kind of like something that I was like never into, and but it, either.
I need to say something dumb.
Now you made me forget the question I wanted to ask.
No, I didn't say anything.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I guess I'll just make a comment on what you said, like separating like your thoughts from like how you actually feeling, right? That is true as well, because like I mean, even me as well, right? I'm guilty of that sometimes. So like I feel like, oh man, I'm angry, right? Let's say somebody say something to me. I feel like I'm angry, and may possibly like out of like emotion just react just because I feel like I'm angry at that person, right? But there's some other times where like if I step back and just have like a couple breath, right? Ask myself, why am I really angry? And what did that person like really say? Like what power did that person have, right? To make me feel angry. Like at that point now, I start realizing like I have a choice to either not be angry at the situation, because I mean, one, they don't have any control over my emotion. I'm the one like in control of that now. Like I'm using like the word that you said to make me angry. But if I step back and just think, be like, okay,
It's just words.
it's just words from that person, right? And I do control like how I feel. It kind of like makes it like a whole lot less impacted.
Right.
No, and that's I mean we've seen that like so many times where like some people like react just out of anything. Right? Somebody may say like they're hungry. Like, are you really angry or you just hungry? Because sometimes
That's me.
because sometimes like when you
So sleepy.
when you like don't have any food, it makes you react like differently as well. You know. So yeah, but thanks so much. And
Thank you.
do you have any last words for us? But
Do you have any questions for us?
yeah.
Ooh, well, like, honestly, I just wanted to say that this was actually really, really nice. Like, this conversation, I'm really happy with the direction it took.
Yeah.
And, like, you guys are really, like, I don't know, receptive. And, like, yeah, you bring, you give me feedback. Like, you
Yeah.
respond. And, like, that's kind of hard to, like, find these days because not everyone is kind of receptive to this type of knowledge and, like,
Not
wants to
everyone's
be-
woke.
No, like, I hate that word, but, like, yeah, I feel...
But yeah, I mean, I don't know for you guys, but like me, like one reason why I actually love doing this podcast and like bringing other people on, right? It's because like I don't just want to like stick to my ways, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm always like open to learn like what other people are saying, or like the way other people see things, because that's how I become like a better person as well. Just understanding, like we don't have to agree like with each other, right? But at least just understand like
The understanding.
where the
Right,
point of view is
it's
coming,
coming from.
and like try not to judge anyone, because at the end of the day, certain things, right, we don't know who's right and wrong, really, you know.
Right.
And
Yeah,
there's
well,
no facts. You
right.
can't prove certain things.
Right. That's true.
Boom. All right, thanks so much.
Thank
Any
you.
plans for the weekend?
I
for you?
had fun. I'm hungry.
Yeah.
No plans for me.
No plans for the weekend. All right. Muhammad is ready to cut that thing up. Already did.